Welcome to my mess. The Chargers get the win. Danger Witch stock falling and plummeting everywhere. Darius Butler here with the new mayor or mayors. A little bit of drama with Shutdown City this week. And Matthew Hamilton and I are reunited, and it feels like it took too long. Pepperoni, salami, Black Forest ham, provolone cheese, bacon on Italian bread with tons of toppings, almost too many. That is the Danger Witch. This is the sandwich from our friends at Subway that was supposed to change the world, the joint that was supposed to let Russ cook, but no! He ran out of danger after the first quarter. Chargers get the win. We'll get to that. I know my desk is a bit of a mess. We will get to it. This is me loving you out here, okay? So we'll get to all of this, the clippings, I've got the scissors, I've got coupons, deals for you this week after my parlay was an absolute disaster. At least I thought it was, but maybe it wasn't, I'm not quite sure. Matthew Hamilton on the show, Darius Butler on the show today. I mean, this has been here since, day one. I have it on the desk every show. It has two pieces of paper. One of them, as you can see, just has hearts doodled on it, if we want to zoom in. For no reason, I don't even know. And then the other page says, let me know. And then it says bills. I don't know what that is, but it has been here, and here it will stay, to the dismay of the control room who thinks I'm too messy. All right, let's get to it, because the Chargers get the win. They win 19-16. They move to 4-2, and they are rocket-fueled by a defense that allowed just 3 points over the final 37 minutes. And, hey, can we get some love? Make some noise for Dustin Hopkins. Woo! These field goals everywhere. Come on, the image of Hopkins on the sidelines. High drama, but he's in that comically oversized leg wrap, and it didn't exactly inspire confidence in his ability to go out there and kick and get it done. But we're talking about gritty plays with Eric Weddle. He gritted it out and got the job done for the Chargers in a huge AFC West win. Meanwhile, and I would just like to sit here and just talk about the Chargers the whole time because I love them and I love when they get wins, especially here in LA. But the truth is, the story of the day is that the poor Broncos are broken AF. They really are. They're broken in Denver. Russell, you know, I was so excited to start the game. He looks like he's back to his old self. He's looking the part, starting the game 10 of 10 with the touchdown, helping the Broncos jump out to a 10-zip first quarter lead. But then the wheels inexplicably sort of fall off. He runs out of juice. He just went 5 of 18 for the rest of the way, while the Broncos as a whole, as a team unit, racked up 151 penalty yards. I'm just going to say, can we hear some noise for that? Because that's hard to do. That is not an easy feat, 151 yards. It's the same old story with them in these penalties every week, and that's all despite an incredible effort from their defense. They held Herbert without a touchdown pass on 57 pass attempts. Denver still could not find a way to win. It's almost impressive. And what are they now? 2-4. 2-4. Recurring issue, penalties, is embarrassing. It's a real problem. They lead the league with 486 penalty yards on the season. No one has more. There's drama. It's obvious. You never want your drama to be obvious, especially when it's mini drama, like Melvin Gordon being disgruntled there because he didn't get a single carry after said first quarter when things were looking good. And Russell Wilson, it's not just the shoulder that no one's talking about. Remember, we sat here yesterday. Mark Schlereth tells it like it is. He is deep. He's into the tape, all of that. He does not mention the shoulder and anything going on with Russell Wilson, but I think we're underplaying it. I think he might have taken some, whatever, pain reliever can get you through the first bout of action and first couple of drives, and then maybe it wore off because it was obvious he wasn't the same quarterback out there. And now it's not only the shoulder he's dealing with, it's a hammy that he's having to overcome. So I'm genuinely wondering. And I want you guys to tell me at Up and Adams Show, and I don't care how you feel about Russell Wilson, I'm asking you a football question here, so shut up. But if they do, should they shut him down for a little bit, right? He's clearly not right. They're sitting at 2-4. Maybe that's what they do. They're broken. I can't fix them. Maybe our next guest can, because he is one of our favorites here on Up and Adams. Patriots, Panthers, Colts, take your pick. One of the greatest corners, and our favorite one here on the program, the #1 tour guide of Shutdown City, Darius Butler.
What's up, Kay? I hear you. All those excuses for Rush. Jeez Louise, I didn't know you were a Broncos fan.
Yeah. Okay.
The hamstring, the pain reliever world. Hey, look, you take that field, no excuses, no explanations. Get out there and get it done, especially on prime time. That goes for him and his head coach.
Who's to blame the most? Let's heap some blame here on Tuesday. It'll make us feel good.
I mean, you always got to start with the head coach, and you talked about it, all those penalties. I think setting a record with penalties. Second guessing himself. It's his first time around the block, and it's a lot of responsibility being a head coach, wearing that hat. So you got Russell Wilson, who is a seasoned vet, so you would think will kind of I guess ease that transition, but it's been tough on him as well. He hasn't been performing as well, so it goes from the head coach right down to the quarterback, and they just reinvested a ton of money into him. So once again, no excuse. He got to get out there and get it done.
But do you have a little sympathy in your heart for Hackett, or is it just it looks like it's a bad hire?
No, I who I have sympathy in my heart for Patrick Surtain, Kareem Jackson, and those guys flying around on defense. I mean, I don't think they've given up 20 points yet, and that's tough to do in the NFL. They're balling week in and week out, and I think sitting at a 2-4 record. So that's who I have sympathy for. That defense, who for the last few years they've been, we need a quarterback, we need this, we need that. We bring over Mr. Unlimited. Give them, however much money guaranteed, and these are the results we're getting. So that's what I have sympathy for, Kay. The defense.
KeepingItReal.com. Okay, do we need to show my mess on the screen? Can we do? I feel like we are showing my disastrous situation here. No, we don't need to. Bring Darius back. I would like everyone to hit me up at Up and Adam Show. How to fix the Broncos. We're not going to spend much time on them today. There was some upside at this game. I saw Sir Lewis Hamilton at the game last night. He's, of course, co-owner of the Broncos. This is like a dream collab for you, F1 and football. What do we need to know about Lewis Hamilton that maybe NFL fans don't need to know, as he does own part of the team?
I mean, he's the GOAT. He's got swag. He's fashionable. He's fashion forward. He speaks out on social issues. He's what you want as a face of a franchise, and I'm glad he got his hands into the NFL and became part owner of the Broncos. I'm sure he'll help. And he's a winner. He's a winner. 7-time champion with an asterisk, 'cause it should be 8. Red Bull and Max got him with one last year, but Sir Lewis Hamilton is the absolute GOAT. If I had to compare him to a player in the NFL, it'd probably be Tom Brady. Him and what they've done at Mercedes with that long stretch of dominance for so long. Now Red Bull's kind of their turn. But Lewis Hamilton will be the Tom Brady of F1 driving. I
mean, you are on some Red Bull today, because you were shot out of a cannon this morning, and we love it here on the show. Let's get to some stories around the league. Yesterday we had some news. Robbie Anderson gets traded to the Cardinals. He got sent to the locker room by his interim coach during Sunday's game. What do you make of this issue and how badly he wanted out of Carolina and then got what he wanted?
Yeah, I mean, this happens. This happens probably pretty often in the league. You're kind of disgruntled with what's going on as far as your production. You see Melvin Gordon, you see J.C. Jackson got pulled yesterday. Like, it just happens in the league. You get frustrated, but you don't want to see a blow up like that on the sideline. Getting in front of a coach in his face, you got to be separated, got to be sent to a locker room. Regardless of what's going on, I always tell players when I was in the locker room, like, look, it's certain places on the field, on the practice field, on the game field where the player won't be right. Handle those things behind closed doors. It's tough for Steve Wilks. Just getting that job, just getting the interim head coach. You got to deal with this already. Your first game on the sideline. But Robbie Anderson got what he wanted. Fresh start in Arizona. Arizona damn sure needs some out there receivers, especially with missing Hollywood Brown, D-Hop coming back. So maybe he turns a new page and gets that fresh start that he wanted in Arizona. It's good for everybody.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a license to whine. Like, you're saying not to do it, you don't like to see it, but he got what he wanted, and now he's going to get to play with the best quarterback that's ever thrown him the rock in the NFL.
True.
So to me, it's like, if you're not happy, you're disgruntled, why not whine your way out of a bad situation and work your way into a better one? Just saying. All right, so Arizona now needs to stick with them another receiver after Hollywood Brown has a potentially season-ending ankle injury he's dealing with. And they get Robbie. DeAndre Hopkins is back. He's all over TikTok about it. He's all over Instagram about it. Look at these numbers with D-Hop on the field since last year. They're incredible, of course. They're better. They're 8-2 with him, 3-8 without him. It all follows and it all adds up. So Kyler seems to be a different cat with Hopkins on the field. Do you think he's enough? Is D-Hop what it will take to get this team where it needs to go?
It's a lot. It's a lot going on with that team right now. They've been very, very disappointing, coming out of the gates, and they usually start fast. So Cliff Kingsbury, he's already coming out saying, "Hey, I'm open to passing the play calling duties if it'll help us win." And that's not what you want to hear from a head coach, especially a head coach that's calling the plays, because ideally you just invested in Kyler Murray, you just invested in his head coach as well. So you want that kind of marriage to be great and evolving over the years. You don't want him looking around going into week 7 saying, hey, I'll pass the play calling duties off. But DeAndre Hopkins, that is a top 3-4 wide receiver in the National Football League when he's healthy, how he plays the game, how he changes what the defense has to do to cover him, try to cover him. You got to cover him with 2 guys, so he can definitely open up that field. And Robbie Anderson is very talented. He's a very talented wide receiver. And to the point you made earlier, this will be the best quarterback throwing in the ball. So defensively, they got to pick some things up, but your best player coming back at this point in the season, that is definitely something that the locker room can rally behind.
And then you have Cliff Kingsbury. That's where most of the smart questions are going into his play calling and whether or not he should give them up. And there's all of that going on. So if DeAndre Hopkins comes back and it's not working, he's going to have a target on his back. You know what I'm saying already.
Big
all right,
target.
Let's move on to Tua here, because in the AFC South, in the AFC East, Tua of your Dolphins is expected to start on Sunday up against the Steelers, according to head coach Mike McDaniel. So I'm going to keep it simple here. Do you think it's too soon?
You know what? I know I shouldn't, but I got to trust those medical professionals over there. I mean, at this point, they haven't done anything to earn that trust, but they are in that position to make these calls. And then you got to trust Tua, too, the player. Obviously, he went out there too soon before in the season, and he wasn't ready, took another nasty hit. But this is something that comes with the game. It's a violent game. A lot of guys get their bell rung and do things like this. But Tua, he's coming back after what? 3 weeks now. Obviously, as a fan, I want him back out there. But to a man and to a person, I hope he's making the right decision, and it is the right decision long term. But the team obviously needs him out there. I'm sure he wants to be out there. And I got to trust the medical professionals and Tua that he's making the right choice to return on primetime Sunday night versus the Steelers. So it's going to be a big game, and obviously the team needs him.
Huge game. We'll see Mitchell Trubisky maybe out there. We don't know what's going on with the Steelers either, so it's a lot of intrigue here in Week 7. I know, right? This Brady thing, you said he's the Lewis Hamilton of the NFL, and he was, you said he's fashionable, he's always in the right place, he's a star, and of course, Brady was at Kraft's wedding, lots of Twitter discussion about. This is why I say never show anybody where you are, and not that Tom did it, he was spotted there, but had there been no pictures, you never would have known he was there. You never would have known he didn't arrive. Congratulations, by the way, to Robert Kraft. I've seen him around Dana, and they are so in love, and it is so beautiful, so I'm very happy for him, of course. Not pictured here are Ed Sheeran and Elton John. They are there, but there's, lots. I don't know if you got an invite. I couldn't make it, unfortunately, but...
I couldn't make it either. Couldn't make it, Kay. Busy schedule,
I mean, you got ESPN. You got a lot going on. McAfee probably wouldn't let you not go. I totally see that. But, it didn't look great in this 20-18 loss to the Steelers, and that's what happens, right? Because it's been streaky for Tom and the Buccaneers, and then you have Brady calling out his receivers. What do you make of this and these outside pressures potentially mounting?
I mean, it is a lot. It's a lot, and I would be concerned, if it wasn't Tom Brady. But I feel like Tom Brady's kind of earned up. He's kind of earned the credibility. He's earned that rapport with his teammates and his coaches to know that, hey, he's still all in. Obviously, he's dealing with what he's dealing with in his personal life. And then Robert Kraft, I'm sure that's a friend that's very near and dear to him. So being able to make his wedding was probably big and important to him. Belichick, even considering it, he changed his mind later in the week, but Belichick was even considering it. And Tom Wendell, you're 45, you're still invested. He has a big hand in putting the game plan together, but he knows they have to play better. And one of his press conferences, he came out and just said, hey, I see a lot of bad football being played. And I think he was talking about himself and that team too. But it's going on all around the league. So it's still in a position where this team can get hot. Defensively, they're very, very talented. And then offensively, Tom Brady and those talented receivers can pick it up at any time. So not really worried about this team. And, a lot of people are saying, hey, we're giving out too many passes to Tom.
Okay.
We're giving out too many passes to Tom. Yeah, I got a few more signed and ready to give out to him, too, because he's earned that. So I'm not panicking. I'm not pushing that panic button yet.
Do you think
Brady and the Bucs.
Is that just you as a veteran and you see the game a different way and you're not in the locker room? Like, take me to Darius Butler in that Bucs locker room. You're putting putting in the work. You're there. You're not missing Friday. You're showing up to all the preseason games, all of that. And you're getting yelled at by Tom Brady. Is it still as effective as it always was? Or at what point do you start, Tom Brady to lose him?
It's, being in that locker room, and just like you've been a superstar in this TV business a lot, and it's a saying that we have, and it's act how you can afford to act. So you can't compare yourself to the next man. Nobody can compare themselves to 12. So yes, I'm putting in my work. I'm grinding. I'm at practice. I'm at walkthroughs. I'm doing all the right things. And you expect that from everybody in the locker room. You expect it from the coaches. You expect it from the quarterbacks, from everybody involved. But once again, everybody does have, different things going on in their personal lives. And we are humans at the end of the day.
Right.
And that matters as well. So it's still early in the season. And I think everyone is still figured out. But I don't think many guys are turning the side eye to number 12 in that locker room.
Yeah.
I think if you can hang your hat on one guy, figuring out and finishing the season strong, I think he'll be one of those guys for sure.
This is around the time when they won the Super Bowl that they started their run just about now. When we started to be week 7, week 8, we were like, oh, this is Tom Brady. This is how this is clicking. And it was his first year there. So we'll see how it goes. A lot of cast of new characters and seemingly some drama.
Definitely.
But Tom Brady's dealt with
drama. It was a bad
drama.
loss, though. That was an ugly loss.
Oh, it was not cute. It was definitely not cute. All right, you're not going anywhere. We've got Shutdown City to get to. I need to get your thoughts on Sauce Gardner wearing the hat. What were your thoughts on this, Darius?
I love it. That's a legendary environment out there in Lambeau, getting a big win. Obviously, it's an underdog, super young team.
Woo!
Love to see this is character. You love to see this in the NFL. So I love this for Sauce and that young Jet squad.
Back with Darius Butler. We need to go over a few things. There were some moments in week 6, some moments, and I was like, what am I looking at? Kirk Cousins with this chain. It's from Christian Darrisaw and Chandon Sullivan. He said, quote, I had never actually put a chain on. Honestly, it was very empowering. What?
Very, very empowering. I see you with the swag, Kirk. I like that. I had a former teammate, Andrew Luck, who I would be interested to see how he would rock the chains and the shades after a game. But I like to see it, man. They're winning too. 5-1. You can do things like this when you're 5-1.
Can you? Can he do these kind of things when he's won the Super Bowl? I don't know. I don't like it. It is so cringy. Kirk, let me love you.
He got a little head nod too. I like it.
No,
I like it,
let
Kirk.
me love you. The Vikings are 5-1, top of the NFC North, and I don't know. This is I can't handle it. We're moving it along here. All right, let's go to Pat's rookie safety. And this is a special team. This is Brandon Schooler. He covers a fumble. He hands it to Belichick for like an attaboy. Like what am I looking at?
I don't know if he knew the significance of the game or was trying to give him a game ball in the middle, but that was hilarious how lost Belichick was. And this is obviously a coach who's never lost, who's always aware of the moment, but he was completely oblivious as to what was going on right there. Rookie move by this rook right here, but that was some bravery. It took some bravery to do.
It's like he's Rafiki presenting Simba to the world.
He's like holding for like, what the hell are you doing?
He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. You would never do that, but look at some of these tweets of confusion. Our guy, Andrew Hawkins. Hawk, we love you. My dog acted like he was delivering the head of an opponent to his king. Man, Belichick ain't knighting no one for no damn muff punt ball. Dan Kelly says Bill Belichick acted like Brandon Schooler was handing him the AFC Championship trophy. It's so true. And Mina
Facts, not interested.
Mina goes, me when my dog kills a bug and proudly drops it in front of me.
I love all those people too, man. That's all Belichick wants to be handed on the football field is the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah.
Anything else, get it out of my face right now. But shout out to Belichick, 324 wins, tying the all-time mark. Great all-time great coach. My first coach in the NFL. So shout out to Bill B. And
shout out to Schooler because I'm pretty sure he never gets confused like that. He doesn't get got, and he got in that moment. All right, let's do this.
Easy.
Week 6. There's celebratory drinking going on. Arthur Smith, they get the win. Go Falcons defense. We love it. Mark Schlereth was giving love to Mariota yesterday. We are here for the Falcons. This is the entire O-line. He took them to the field level suites for some celebratory beers. I've never seen this before. What am I looking at?
You're looking at a normal post-game celebration, especially with the O-line. But this usually happens either at a restaurant or something if you're home, and if you're on the road, probably on the plane, maybe. But we had a saying. I was with Chuck Pagano last week on Pat's show, and we chopped it up at the airport, and he said, hey, we always had a rule. Win or lose, we booze. So shout out to the Falcons. Going to the suite level, chilling O-line, head coach. I love to see it. Falcons got something cooking down there. They're a tough out week in and week out.
Who was the most fun on those flights?
Oh, I mean, we had Pat. Pat McAfee. He always was a ball of energy, and it was fun. Sometimes you get a loss, you have a loss, you need somebody to pick up the mood. It'll be Pat. But we had you got different sections to it of playing. You got the back, you got the middle, you got up front. So depends on where you were sitting.
Got it. I mean, this is a enjoy the moment, declare victory. They earned it, and I love it. Anybody saying, "How come you've been there before?" Shut up. Like, that's incredible, and I hope they do that every week.
Win or lose, we booze, baby.
Okay. And how about this Buffalo situation with Jordan Poyer, who drove nearly 1,000 miles to Kansas City for his game this weekend after not being medically cleared to fly because he had a rib injury. I'm not a doctor, but you know that. Could you ever do this? And how much does this dude love football? What am I looking at?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? For no other reason, I would do it for this. It's Bills, Chiefs, obviously huge game. Jordan Poyer is a very important player for them, big-time leader. I think he has some type of punctured lung or something, which he wasn't cleared to fly, but he was obviously cleared to play football. And it was good that he made the trip because they definitely needed him. So that's a lot of grit right there. I'm sure he had it laid out right, but 1,000 miles each way, woo, that's tough right there. Shout out to Poyer, man. Dropping a new podcast too. He announced that actually on his way back. I'm sure he had a lot of things to thought. He probably recorded 10 episodes on the ride. So shout out to Poyer.
If you had to take a 1,000-mile drive with any NFL player that you ever suited up with, who would you pick? Don't roll your eyes at me.
1,000-mile drive. Let's see.
Pat McAfee? No.
You know what? Probably Luck. Andrew Luck, because I would have no idea what we were talking about, but I'm sure it'd be very informative, and I would be a much smarter individual when we got to our destination. So Andrew Luck would be my former teammate that I would take the ride with. You would learn how to take maple out of a tree with your bare hands or some crazy stuff like that. Literally, I have no idea what I learned, but I know it'd be very, very useful. Okay, I've been craving a vacation. You drive 1,000 miles or even think about it, you need a vacay. So does Shutdown City have some nice weather this time of year? Oh, Shutdown City is beautiful right now. Let's get to this, man. I can't wait. We got Tariq Woolen, another appearance. Woo! This rookie, every week he's making plays, and every week he'll be right down to Shutdown City. 4 weeks in a row now. 4 interceptions. Richard Sherman, a former Seahawk great, showing him some love. Got a fumble recovery in this game as well. So shout out to Tariq Woolen, staying in Shutdown City again. And another rookie who was the sitting mayor. And he took he put his crown on, he had the cheese on his head, went to Green Bay, had a big game, almost had a pick six. But Sauce Gardner, man, he's been playing lights out as a rookie this year. Special player. So shout out to Sauce, the former mayor. But now we got 3 mayors. They got a nice 3-bedroom penthouse down there in Philly. Meek Mill comes in time and time, in and out. But Darius, big play Slay, James Bradbury, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, these guys flying around, had a huge game on prime time. So those guys in Eagles, 6-0 going into a bye week, and that defense, that secondary is a big reason why. So those are my 3 mayors back there. But all of these guys are balling. It's a lot of good cornerback play that I'm seeing around the league. So I'm excited. I'm happy about this Shutdown City growing in population every week. I mean, very much doubling in population. You can't pick 3 corners as your mayor. Yeah, I couldn't. It's a unit. We're one back there. We're like the O-line in the secondary. Hey, we all win. One of us win, we all win. So Eagles 6-0. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. No. Okay, so everyone out there watching knows Darius Butler's point of contact is Marissa McBride. Marissa McBride, literally her dream in life, and she'll get this, is to go do features and work for the Eagles organization. She'd leave me and drop me like a heartbeat, and I'd be happy for her to do that. And here she is, and you two are the only 2 that talk to one another, and somehow I'm supposed to believe that by fair election, Darius. 3 mayors are chosen from the Eagles. Stand up for me, Darius. That was not me. That was not me. There has to be worse. No collusion. Fair election. I brought it up, but I will let you know the last time we had a pre-production call, she was actually at the Philly Stadium. I'm not sure how sober she was, but she got the job done. So shout out to Marissa. Yeah. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Undefeated. Thank you. This has collusion written all over. No collusion. This is fair. You pick one of the 3 that you would put at the who leads the pack, you think? I think C.J. Gardner. What do you think, Darius? C.J. Gardner, he had 2 picks, but I mean, if I had to pick one, I would go back to Big Play Slay.
I knew
Big Play
it.
Slay. He's been
I
the best.
Slay.
He's been the best corner in the league this year, but James Bradbury is not far behind.
He's stepping up big time.
Darius Butler, we love you. I thought that was very sketchy. I see you. I see what both of you are doing. The Eagles are not on the table for your next mayor of Shutdown City. You're the best. Talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you, Kay.
Amazing. Matthew Hamilton on the show. He loves Darius Butler and knows him very well. I'm on to you. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. I'm on to you. All right, we've got lots to get to. We've got waivers, and we got to talk about my parlay.
Where's the camera? Big dog! What he said.
That's a hell of a
I love the way that this group responded this week. I thought it translated into a good performance.
You're pretty tough too, 17. Here you go.
Chauncey, two of them things? Chauncey, two of them things?
We got some cooking in here, boy. We 5-1, boy.
Want a little party?
When can I do it, baby? Come on.
And
The Giants are having the time of their lives. We'll get to that in a little bit. Not the Broncos. They lost last night to the Chargers. It is week 7, so time for a little pick-me-up. We've got a great group of guys this week that are just waiting for you to come and snatch them up and get them in your lineups. Rough week for buys, by the way. We've got Bills, Rams, Vikings, Eagles, all lot to replace there. So let's go with Jameis Winston, guys. His health is the thing to watch here, but he has a very generous schedule over the next few. It could be the perfect bye-week replacement over the next month or so, and if he can get back out there. How about another quarterback for you? Matt Ryan, if you need a replacement for Hurts or Josh Allen, he's on bye this week. I love Matt Ryan. He's coming off an awesome performance, as we all know, against that shaky Titans defense. Okay, how about Kenyon Drake? J.K. Dobbins went down with a knee injury last week. Drake went off, you guys, 127 yards and a score on just 11 touches. Alec Pierce, I told you about him last week. Yes, I did, but he's still somehow out there in 70% of leagues. So then have you listened to me? Did he have another touchdown on Sunday? He did. So 3 straight games, double-digit fantasy points. I would definitely stack a Ruski with Matt Ryano. All right, how about Robert Tonyan? Seemed to be the only guy Rodgers trusted on Sunday. 10 balls, 90 yards, 12 targets. Scoop him up if he is still there in your league. To review, shall we? These are your waiver wire grabs per the Up and Adam show. Jameis Winston, Matt Ryan, Kenyon Drake, Alec Pierce. I like that little stack in DFS. I'm just saying, Matt Ryan, Alec Pierce, and then Robert Tonyan for those Packers. All right, who I think have the Commanders this week. Is that who the Packers have? Yeah, so that should be a nice game where he's dealing with pressure the whole time. Okay, no pressure here. This is the Up and Adam show. We're having so much fun. Today is our 31st show, I do believe. So, you know, we're changing every day. We don't really have a format. We're trying what we want to try. We'll be in New York in a couple of weeks. We got to go to Indy already. Who has a new show and then goes on the road in the first 2 weeks? We do, and we love it. So it is an absolute pleasure. It sort of feels like a dream and like it's not real. But I'm very excited to welcome a new family member to Up and Adams, a guy who spent over 6 years working his ass off as a production wizard on Good Morning Football with me. He was the backbone and the architect of some of my finest moments and best takes, and he now hosts the Breakdown podcast on KC Sports Network with Matt Castle weekly, and he also works here now. So please welcome to the Up and Adams show, Matthew Hamilton!
What's up, Kay?
I'm doing
It
a
feels
lot of...
kind of like a dream, kind of like a nightmare with you waving those scissors around. I was waiting for somebody's eye to get poked out or something, but
And they're like,
I'm happy to be here.
And I'm a lefty, but I don't think I can cut through anything with left-handed on these. I'm so happy that you're here. You are so amazing. I'm a little sad that I moved to LA and you're in New York, but welcome to the family. Everyone is thrilled because you are a brilliant mind and just the best person. So I'm so excited. And I know it's an exciting time in New York. So talk to me. Give me a vibe check on NYC sports.
It is a really exciting time here in New York. Both the Giants and Jets doing what they're doing. I actually watched the games with a Jets fan this past weekend, and I feel like they're almost in disbelief. As that game's going on, the Jets have a 3-score lead late in the game. He's still waiting for the other shoe to drop and Rodgers to come storming back. And then as we watch the Bills-Chiefs game later on, he almost couldn't believe, like, hey, wait a minute. If the Bills lose this game, we're tied for first place. It definitely feels somewhat like a dream to those Jet fans. And on the Giants side of it, I think they understand this team is built really strangely right now with all those receiver injuries. They think maybe it's not sustainable, but they're just enjoying the ride off to this 5-1 start. It's the most excited I've seen this since we started Good Morning Football back in 2016 and the Giants made the playoffs. There hasn't been a lot in New York to be excited about. It was miserable. The Jets and Giants didn't even want to come on the show because everything was so miserable. So seeing them get off to this start is awesome. But there is also that just impending sense of doom that like the other shoe is going to drop on both of these teams. So I think both fan bases are enjoying the ride, but they're still skeptical.
You have a pulse of that fan base. Yesterday we were talking and I said, we should try to get Mike Francesa on the show. And so you gave me, you were like, go through Mons, see what that, and I call him Brian. And so Brian, we're trying to, I know he's got the Yank, and the Yanks got postponed, is that right?
Yeah, they're playing today at 4 o'clock.
Okay, so we're trying to get Francesa on because that would be the ultimate New York interview to have, the Pope, that maniac madman, join the Up and Adams show. Who deserves the most credit with the Giants? I know that you grew up a Giants fan. More to Dable or who?
Yeah, I think the credit definitely has to go to that coaching staff with what Brian Dable's done with what he has to work with. Again, I think he came into the year with a plan in mind, having Kenny Golladay, having Kadarius Toney, having all those weapons for Daniel Jones to throw to, and then obviously the entire receiving core gets hurt. He has to change everything on the fly, along with offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, who's done an excellent job. And they've turned into this 3 tight end, run downhill, use Daniel Jones' legs, get him outside of the pocket type of team, and it's working. And then on the other side also, Wink Martindale has to get his credit as well. But again, none of this works. As great as the scheme has been, as great as the game planning has been, none of it works if Saquon Barkley isn't the all-pro talent that he's playing like this year. So while I give the credit to the coaching staff, Saquon returning to form is such a huge part of this as well.
And we've worked together for 6 years. No one roots for Saquon harder than I. Like, I love Saquon Barkley.
Oh, I know.
I've always, and through his adversity, his mental toughness, his fortitude, there's not a single player, and Christian McCaffrey's a great story. As far as a rewrite, like he's up there with Cordell Patterson, but I've always had like a soft spot for Saquon Barkley. And I'm in New York with you for the first week of November, and I would just die to have Saquon on. So this is me manifesting Saquon Barkley to come hang out because we are your literal biggest fans. All right, if you had to pick, though, Giants or Jets, and take the Saquon Barkley visiting us off the table, who's making the playoffs?
I think right now I'd have to say the Giants. I think the way that they're finding ways to win right now, I know it may not feel sustainable. Every game's going to be a slog. They had a rough time even with the Panthers and Bears, but they've also been in every game, even against the teams that seem far superior talent-wise, like the Ravens, like the Cowboys, that came down to the wire, even their one loss. So I think they're going to get healthier at some point. They're going to get some of those receivers back. I think they're going to continue to build this thing. And the schedule is pretty favorable. The next 4 games are the Jaguars, Seahawks, then they get a bye, then they get the Texans and Lions. So all 4 of those games are really winnable. Even if they just go 2-2, they head into Thanksgiving against the Cowboys at 7-3 and in a prime position to get into one of those playoff spots in a really wide open NFC.
I'm just telling people who enjoy the FanDuel app and all those things, Hamilton's not wrong very much. So I would just put that out there into the ether when it comes to these sort of situations. Okay, so every time the Chiefs play, no one bothers you more than me because I text you a lot during games, but also I think every week I have said, Hammer, do they miss Tyreek? Do they miss Tyreek now? Don't they? Don't they miss him, Hammer? 6 weeks. Let's just be honest here. 6 weeks is a pretty substantial sample size. What's the answer to that question?
I mean, first of all, I just want to say nobody bothers me more than you in general. But as far as the Tyreek question is concerned, I think they do miss him a little bit. The offense is different now for sure. Obviously, we're seeing them still have a ton of success. Mahomes' yards per game are up. His passer rating's up. He's leading the league in touchdowns. So I don't think it's that they miss him a ton. They're finding ways to make it work. But where you're seeing it come into play, and it's been interesting the last 2 weeks, is teams playing a lot more man coverage against the Chiefs because they're not as afraid of the speed. They're not as afraid of the big plays. And you saw it affect them early against the Raiders. They adjusted, and they ended up storming back and winning that game. The Bills did a much better job mixing it up and playing man in some key situations, and it really helped that pass rush get home and bought Von Miller a little time to get back there and get to Mahomes. So I think seeing that teams aren't as afraid of the speed, it definitely changes the way that they have to play, and they're going to have to continue to adjust. So I think they miss him a little bit, but this offense still has so much talent. They're going to be just fine without him, and I think we've seen that now over these first 6 weeks.
And you, of course, cover them with Matt Castle weekly. He was so kind to come on our show, and he absolutely loves working with you.
He's
so maybe
the best.
I would love for you two to have like a moment together. You guys can literally take an A block if you want one day. You and Matt Castle breaking down what you do every week on the Sportsbook for the KC Sports Network. So awesome stuff there, and love having you here. But I don't know how you manage your time, because I bother you quite a bit. You have lots of things that you do. You have you're a homeowner. You're dealing with stuff there. You've got a full-on relationship that you love, and then you have another relationship with a bunch of high school kids as you coach the New Rochelle Huguenots. I don't know what a Huguenot is, but I know I pulled a picture just to embarrass you, because you're out there doing your thing quickly. I mean, Austin Luzzy is your quarterback. I know that. Shout out to Austin. I hear about you all the time. But who do we got this week? Quick.
We got White Plains on Saturday. That's going to be a big game. If we win that game, we're going to the playoffs. So really looking forward to that one. And I love being out there coaching, working with these kids. Austin's having an incredible year. Oh, that was us. We had a game in a park. There was no press box, so we had to be up in the middle of a forest on some rocks. It was that was a great time.
Now, in these photos, who's taking these photos? Because they look very staged. Like you're like walking off.
They have like some professional photographers there from time to time from the local papers and stuff. And you're waving those scissors at me again. So
no, okay. So here's why I'm waving the scissors. Okay, here's what I'm waving the scissors, because my parlay that you and I worked on very diligently on Friday, which you were so nice that you helped me on Friday. It busted, right? Can we take a look at my parlay? Where's my parlay? Me, and Conrad Company. This was it, right? Oh, look at that beautiful airbrush photo. Metcalf, 60 plus. Eno Benjamin, who we loved last week, 60 plus. Allen, 300 plus passing, and Gabe Davis, anytime touchdown score. I got half of these right, and I feel bad, Hamilton, and I don't know if parlays are. I'm a little nervous about the parlays. I'll just say it.
So first of all, yeah, you're completely doom and gloom right from the start. I mean, the first quarter, Metcalf doesn't have a catch, and it's, oh my, did we bust? Completely manic. I'm not sure parlays are the way to go for it. Just emotionally, I'm not sure you can handle it. But I also tried to explain this to you. You did hit half of it. You did make some people some money, especially if they were to cash out. Because you got the same game. You got the Bills, and you got both Bills ones, right? You got Josh Allen and Gabriel Davis.
But then people
can cash out.
People can cash out once that happens, and then. But
yes.
But people don't do. Do people do that? And how do I know who did that? And how do I know I didn't lose people? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all very stressful, and I don't understand like how it's just a very. I'm itchy about it. Like I literally sent, and I was like, Hamilton, why do we pick Eno Benjamin? Arthur Smith. I'm very upset about it.
Yeah, I know. And I think sometimes you have to let these games play out a little bit. You can't start freaking out in the first quarter. You have to realize you did make some people some money. And these parlays are hard to hit, hard to get 100% across the board.
Why would I want to be part of something? You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about this
because when it hits, that's when you get your biggest return. This is the biggest. It's the boom or bust situation. But when that hits, it's such a big. If people hit on that, they make such a killing off of it. So that's why you want to keep encouraging, because you're gonna get these right. You keep this going. That was your first one, and you already got half of them right.
Is that good? Tell me, Ed, up. And I do want to say this, and I know we're gonna go long here, and we can blow off the rest of the show because it's actually important to me. Because I'm new to the world of sports betting. And I will say this, like when you and I have worked on fantasy football together for years and years, and when you get something right, you kind of don't get love. You kind of do. When you get something wrong, you get venom. And you deserve it, right? Because you're out there saying like, this guy's going to have a touchdown, whatever. And with sports betting, in my head, I'm like, well, this is like real stakes. And this is I cannot explain to you the shock to me after my parlay in my head busted, and I got welcome to the club, welcome to the, and everyone is so, and it's fun, right? And that's what it should be. You should enjoy it. Put your bet in over at FanDuel app on my parlay. I'll do another one this week, I promise. Hopefully it hits. But it was such a welcoming, reconciling. Like nobody was pissed at me like I thought they'd be.
Yeah, and that's what's awesome about it. I mean, people understand. I feel like there's more of an understanding. We're all kind of in it together.
Yeah.
Type of
like
vibe,
it.
and
I like it.
Yeah. And again, and when you hit one of these parlays, it's going to be the best feeling in the world because it will happen.
But until I do, it's the worst feeling in the world. So here's what I decided to do. I decided that since I might have, maybe not if you cashed out and were smarter than me, I might have cost some FanDuel app parlay players a couple bucks, right? And so what I decided to do is go through the papers, and I got all the national brands, and I found some great deals on sale. And I'm doing this because this is how you can make up the money I maybe lost you. So I'm looking through Rite Aid, but I did find this is a big one, Hamilton. You have a car. You don't have to really drive anymore because you don't have to drive into the city anymore. But if you need to take care of your car or truck, which I know nothing about, I found a $10 off Jiffy Lube signature service oil change. And I really think people will be thanking me for this. Oil the lifeblood of your engine, or so I am told. So this is big, and you can do that. And then, it was not too long ago that there was a toilet paper shortage. So if you have a CVS in your area, listen, I found this. You can get 6 mega rolls of Charmin Ultra Gentle. I don't think I've ever used this one. Ultra Gentle bathroom tissue.
Ultra Gentle.
Yeah, at a savings of just $8.99. And so go to CVS, and you could do pickup, you could do shipping, you could stop by, and that's courtesy of me. I found you guys that deal. Target, everyone has a Target.
You get the Robert Saleh-sized receipt.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
Yes, that's exactly right. Go over to Target. How about this? I want everyone to take care of yourselves. I didn't take care of you in the parlay. Go out and get 55% off Digestive Advantage Daily Probiotic Capsules for men and women. And those are just, let's get this, $8.54 on sale. I don't know how much they usually are. Do we know? Is it on there? But that's a pretty good deal.
I'm glad we finally have unisex probiotics. That's something that we definitely needed.
We definitely needed it. I'm looking here at Select Crest White Strips. If you're into that kind of thing, I drink coffee every day, so look, I can't cut with left-handed scissors. I'm left-handed. We need left-handed scissors. But Rite Aid has some great deals on zinc that you guys need to check out as well. And for you pet owners.
Great for the immune system. Yeah,
you're going to have to bring Nala on the show. But I found is she there? I found a deal for you over at Walmart. Listen, you and I went to Mizzou. We know the Walmart franchise very well. The Waltons, the Cronkies, they're from Columbia. Friskies Dry Cat Food Seafood Sensations. Oh my God, that sounds disgusting. A 16-pound bag. 16 pounds. Guess what, guys? Less than $15. $14.98. What do you think?
That's a pretty incredible deal. Yeah, that's a great deal.
Where's Nala?
Nala just ran away from you. She was right here. I tried to pick her up. She ran away.
So that's it. Yeah. My apologies for the parlay. I'll find you guys those deals. We'll clip them off. Enjoy the free advertising. Target, Friskies, and everyone. Hamilton, you're the best. You'll be back. We'll be back right here on the Up and Adams Show. Sorry about the parlay. I'll do better. Everyday wins make your day so much better, and that's why FanDuel Casino has the new daily free-to-play game Reward Machine. It's a free game that gives players the chance to win up to $2,000 in casino bonus every day. All you have to do is log in daily and spin for a free chance at rewards. FanDuel wants you to win. Do you hear me? FanDuel wants you to win! And so do I. Play Reward Machine for a free chance at everyday wins only on FanDuel Casino. Okay, we've taken lots of moments on the show. We've talked about the Falcons' defense. We've given love to all sorts of unheralded, more underappreciated storylines. But something that really caught my eye that I want a moment for here is the Indianapolis Colts, and specifically their quarterback, Matt Ryan, a former MVP from 2016, and he looked like the guy the Colts thought they were getting in that trade with Atlanta. He lit up the Jags for 389 yards, 3 touchdowns. This is all, by the way, without Jonathan Taylor. That's meaningful. Ryan broke Peyton Manning's franchise record with 58 pass attempts. How incredible is that? But more than that, I loved the trust that Frank Reich showed to let Ryan air it out. Mwah, chef's kiss, 23 seconds left, and the Colts already in range for a game-winning field goal, and I loved seeing Ryan reward that faith by throwing a beautiful 32-yard touchdown pass to none other than Alec Pierce. This was, make no mistake, a ballsy call, ultimate trust, growth in that locker room, and that matters. And just like that, the Colts are right back to 3-2-1, and they are right on those Titans' tails for the AFC South lead. Here you are looking at the upcoming games at Tennessee, and they're trailing them. They're right there. They get at Washington. We know what's going on there. At New England, you never know what's going on there. Tough defense to face Matt Ryan, as you know, and might have some nightmares about Vegas and then those tough Philadelphia Eagles. So there we go. Some love for Colts fans. You know, I have a soft spot in my heart. We didn't get to ask DARIUS BUTLER about it, so I wanted to make sure to give Matt Ryan some love. All right, we've got more outstanding performances. We're going to hit the lights on Quinnen Williams next. You know what time it is. We hit the lights. Our show loves to highlight unheralded players who should be getting love. This week, New York Jets rising star defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. I'm not saying he's not getting love, but he's certainly going to get it on this show. What you, I actually wasn't even looking at what we were looking at there. Was this the fight that were they showing the fight before this? I don't even know. All right, I guess not. What, Conrad? Oh, him and his brother. Okay, that I don't know why, but do we have the fighting? This is what you sort of conjure up. Do we have that, Conrad? Okay, this is it. So this is like, feels like a lifetime ago, but this was a scene with an assistant coach, and it played out on the sidelines. This was, I think, a loss to the Bengals that they were dealing with. And this is like Jets season, caving in early, right? Let's pack it up, whatever. Quinnen might be coming towards the end of his tenure with the Jets. The sky is falling. But guess what? The former number 3 overall pick, he has been lights out since. It all kind of came together and cooked up and culminated in a legendary performance on Sunday, sacking our friend Aaron Rodgers twice. And this was including, you know, a strip sack. He had 3 quarterback hits. He was just insane. Like, Aaron Rodgers is just doing some sort of spell. He's trying to cook up some sort of tea to get rid of this guy out of his head, because he even blocked a field goal. It was a heck of a day for Quinnen Williams, but to me, I guess it's always more impressive considering what was going on less than a month ago. A very short period of time. Quinnen in a herky-jerky career out there with the Jets, with all the tumults and all the changeover, and it makes me so happy to see that the Jets have won 3 straight, and Quinnen's fueled the defense and their emergence and toughness. So during the win streak, let's take a look here. He's racked up 3.5 sacks, and he now leads all interior D linemen with 5 on the year, and that, my friends, is more than Aaron Donald. Quinnen Williams, you've been under a microscope since you were drafted. We love you.